Can we go anytime? All right. Well, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Come on in. Before I call this meeting to order, I want to ask everyone how Edwin Lee has been treating you. Any problems? Okay.
HR has a Edwin Lee.
Okay.
file.
All right. I want to note for the record that I will serve as the acting chair for today's meeting. I now call to order the meeting of the directors of the New York State Urban Development Corporation doing business as Empire State Development for Thursday, May 16th, 2019. As noted on the agenda posted to the internet, we welcome public comment on the items in our agenda to ensure maximum opportunity for participation. Speakers representing themselves may speak for up to 2 minutes each, and if you represent a group, up to 4 minutes. Our comments may only address items considered on today's agenda. I'll ask directors at this time whether anyone has any potential conflict of interest with respect to any of the items on the agenda. As always, the directors have received the written materials in advance of today's meeting, and they are free to ask questions at any time during the presentations. The first item on our agenda is approval of the minutes of the April 18th directors meeting. Are there any questions, comments, additions,
Move.
or deletions?
Seconded.
All in favor?
Aye.
Excellent, thank you. And I have a president's report, which I will do. This will take a short while. So a number of items. I want to let everyone know that today is Rich Newman's birthday. I'm going to start with that. So happy birthday, Rich.
Thank you.
I'm sure you've gotten us all presents for your birthday.
I have $1 for you.
Okay, good. I want to say that Derek Cephas is no longer on the board, and Derek has done an amazing job here for a long period of time. I'm just going to read you what Derek wrote, so I get this, say this properly. A new opportunity has presented itself that I felt had to pursue, and that opportunity made it difficult for me to remain on the board. Please extend my thanks to all of the fine people at ESD that I have worked with over the years. I've been involved with ESD and UDC since 1985, 1986, when I served as the general counsel of UDC. So I will miss it, which is something I did not actually realize. Sending all good wishes to everyone. So we want to recognize Derek, who provided great service. He was a professional and a gentleman,
You're here.
great guy to work with. And we wish him all the best in his new endeavor. So congratulations to Derek and our thanks. I want to say that we have hired a new head of USA Niagara, our subsidiary corporation up in Western New York, who many of you are familiar with. Anthony Villardo is president of USA Niagara now. He is a Niagara Falls native. He has worked as director of business development for the city of Niagara Falls for the last 4 years, and he worked very closely with ESD almost on a daily basis and our subsidiary for many years. So his first day at USA Niagara was May 6th, and we're excited to have him on board. I want to congratulate Maria Cassidy, because Maria Cassidy, as I understand it, this is maybe her last board meeting here at ESD. And I just want to say a few things, and I also have a resolution of appreciation that I'm going to read, Maria. But I want to let everybody know that Maria joined us as senior counsel in 1988 and was elevated to her current role in 1995. She has served 5 governors, beginning with Governor Mario Cuomo, She has worked alongside 7 CEOs. She finally found one she couldn't take any longer. And 7 general counsels. She has been an integral part of so many projects at ESD, including 7 World Trade Center, the Columbia Manhattanville Expansion Project, Queens West Development, Governor's Island, and many more too long to mention. Beyond these projects, she has helped guide our legal department, our entire agency, with unmatchable skill, sage counsel, forthright advice, Maria, forthright advice, and a vast wealth of, keen insight and knowledge. So from all the directors and everyone at ESD, we owe Maria a debt of gratitude, as do the people of New York. She has served so well. Maria. All right, Maria, I'm going to read this resolution of appreciation. Whereas Maria Cassidy has served the New York State Urban Development Corporation since December 1988, filling with distinction the position of Senior Counsel and Deputy General Counsel. And whereas Maria has helped guide the corporation's legal department with legal and administrative skill, providing staff and senior management with sage counsel and forthright advice. And whereas during her 31-year tenure at the corporation, Maria was responsible for the success of several major projects and programs undertaken by the corporation. Whereas during her tenure at the corporation, Maria educated staff and senior management on how to deal with regulatory concerns, as well as the need to comply with and defend vigorously the UDC Act. And whereas Maria, by giving freely of her time and boundless knowledge, has played a significant role in developing and implementing the state's economic development programs. And whereas Maria will be retiring from the corporation to join the ranks of the relaxed, that's not all it's cut out to be. And whereas the corporation will deeply miss her, now therefore be it resolved that the directors of the corporation desire to, and hereby do, express their jealousy, express their utmost gratitude and sincere appreciation to Maria Cassidy for her service and dedication to the corporation, and extend to her their best wishes for a joyful and well-deserved retirement. Maria, congratulations. I could put you on the spot and ask you if you'd like to say a few words. Do you want me to put you on the spot and ask you if you'd like to say a few words?
I would like to
Yes,
just take
go
a
ahead.
moment. First of all, thank you, forthright. It's such a kind way of describing my slight tendency to be blunt at the time. But I do just want to take a minute to tell the board and to tell all my colleagues how very grateful I am for having been given the opportunity to spend so many years of my career here at ESD. It is an amazing organization, and I have worked with the most talented and dedicated and well-intentioned individuals on so many projects that have really changed people's lives in every corner of the state. And I've had a career of challenge and creativity that very few lawyers get to enjoy, and I want to say thank you to everyone.
Great, and thank you, Maria.
Thank you.
Appreciate it very much. Okay, we are going to continue with our agenda. Just a couple of announcements. The REDC Round 9 has launched. The governor last month launched Round 9 of REDC, which will again award more than $750 million across the state. So far we have the governor has awarded more than $6 billion to more than 7,300 REDC projects across the state. This has had a profound positive impact on the economy across the state. The deadline for applications is Friday, July 26th at 4 p.m. I think you're all familiar with the CFA process associated with this, so we want to get that out. The governor launched the $175 million Workforce Development Initiative on May 3rd, and this will also go through the REDC, and people can apply for these funds through the CFA like so many of our programs. So the REDC process allows us to make sure that these awards will align with the sectors of the economy and help develop the workforce to support industry that are most relevant to each region. So we're excited about that. What else do I want to mention? The Buffalo, you might have seen something on the Buffalo Skyway Corridor competition that the governor announced. This is like a 4-mile kind of elevated expressway. The state, not only this state, but so many cities across the country have these kind of elevated roadways that, in the case of Buffalo, kind of cut off to some extent the waterfront. Back in the day when these were really steel towns and they were trying to move freight mostly, and over the course of the many decades, of course, this has become less industrial as such and more recreational and quality of life. So the governor is soliciting ideas from teams to think about how we might enhance or open up the waterfront in a way to continue to build on the momentum that we have in Buffalo and Western New York and all these place-based investments that have had such a big impact. You may have seen that Netflix decided to expand their presence here in New York City. They are creating 127 new executive level jobs, and they are building 6 new sound stages in beautiful Brooklyn, New York, which will have the capacity to support thousands of great production crew jobs within 5 years. So it's a competitive industry. Netflix is investing up to $100 million to expand their presence here in New York. ESD offered up to $4 million in Excelsior tax credits as part of this deal. So we worked very closely, and I want to congratulate the ESD team for this significant project.
Where in Brooklyn?
I don't know exactly where in Brooklyn. I'm not sure what the site is exactly.
When you do things in Brooklyn, you should clear it with me.
Okay. Lord of Brooklyn. On Semiconductor is acquiring Global Foundries fabrication plant in East Fishkill. This was, I feel like,
Who's buying it?
On Semiconductor, ON Semiconductor. It's a public company. This was a big deal because Global is, kind of repositioned itself strategically, and these jobs were at significant risk of leaving New York or just going away altogether. So again, as we have in the past, we, help to preserve these jobs in New York State and kind of serve this part investment banker and part economic development organization to, see this transition through. So I think it's very important. You have 1,000 high-tech jobs in Fishkill, New York. So we're very pleased with that outcome and appreciate working with Global and with ON Semiconductor. There have been other significant expansion projects that we announced. YEXT, Y-E-X-T, expanding their global headquarters in New York City. That was announced late April, creating 500 new jobs over the next 5 years here. CBC Manufacturing growing their operations in Rochester. Phillips Medical Systems in Albany County. Redcom Laboratories growing in Victor, New York, and many other projects. So, and finally, I just want to mention that after our meeting, I'm headed to an event that we're excited about, where Moynihan Train Hall is receiving Building the Future Award. So we're excited about that. The team has done a great job. This is a project that is being recognized for its very aspirational nature in terms of bold vision, but more than bold vision, this project is on time and on budget, and Phase 1 is open. The West End Concourse has been extremely well received, and we continue to make great progress in providing folks in New York City and the state with the kind of infrastructure that has sorely been lacking in the Penn Station concourse. So we're excited about that. I want to congratulate the team, the Moynihan Train Hall team, for receiving that award. So that is all good. What else? Glendon, Are you going to give us a recap before we get into the regional projects?
Yes, thank you and good morning. The directors will be requested to consider 7 projects totaling $17,049,770 in grants. The projects include 2 Buffalo Billion Awards, 4 Regional Council Awards, and 2 Discretionary Awards. The project will take place in the Western New York, Mohawk Valley, Finger Lakes, Capital, and North Country regions, leverage over $20 million of additional investment, and retain 500 jobs in the state. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Glenn. We're going to start in Western New York with Amanda. Amanda?
Good morning.
Hey.
The directors are requested to approve a grant of up to $2.5 million from the Buffalo Regional Innovation Cluster, Buffalo Billion 2, to the Village of Alfred in Allegheny County for smart growth enhancements to its central business district. Alfred is the 4th of 4 recipients of funding through the Smart Growth Community Fund for 2019, a program through which applicants from Western New York to the statewide DRI competition were automatically eligible if they were not selected as the regional winner. In 2018, the REDC reviewed the remaining municipality proposals for project readiness and impact and selected 4 winners for up to $2.5 million each. The grant to the Village of Alfred will be used to undertake 3 main initiatives that will aid business, enhance the streetscape, and provide placemaking amenities for the village. Through a design and engineering process, the village will construct traffic calming measures along Route 244 in the entrance to the central business district, focusing on walkability and improving the safety and aesthetics of this main thoroughfare. Funding will also be used to for equipment purchases by Calyx Ceramic Solutions to open a second New York State location in Alfred as an advanced ceramic manufacturing center, relocating jobs from New Hampshire to Western New York. Finally, funds will also be used by the village and small businesses to provide building facade and ADA accessibility improvements, improve pocket parks and recreational opportunities in the downtown, and preserve historic terracotta building elements. ESD's investment will improve connectivity within Alfred and help create a sense of place that is an attractive community for people to live, work, and play. The directors are also being asked to make a determination of no significant effect on the environment pursuant to the State Environmental Quality Review Act. In our second project, the directors are requested to approve a grant of $1.2 million from the Buffalo Regional Innovation Cluster, Buffalo Billion 2, to push Buffalo for a portion of design and construction costs and related working capital and capital expenses for a $1.7 million expansion of workforce training programs. Funding is part of the $10 million Workforce Development Challenge in Western New York, a competitive program designed to promote and invest in innovative approaches to workforce training in the region's target industry sectors in organizations that have proven track records, trusted community relationships, and outstanding abilities for outreach and recruitment. Launched in 2018, the Workforce Development Challenge awarded $4.2 million in round 1 of funding applications to 6 organizations, including PUSH. With its funding, Push Buffalo will be designing and constructing a 3,000 square foot net zero sustainability training center on the City of Buffalo's west side, where it will conduct its community hiring hall workforce training programs. The new facility will provide a mix of classroom, office, and meeting space where Push will expand its training offerings in the renewable energy sector. Funding will also be used to purchase software and equipment to facilitate training, as well as provide working capital to support the addition of new personnel and provide wraparound services, including childcare, transportation, and personal protective equipment used in training activities. With the ESD grant, Push will establish more pathways for the and underemployed, provide and coordinate access to no-cost training and support services, and double the hiring hall's employment capacity. Through this project, Push will also continue to play a significant role in assisting the region with growing jobs in the clean energy sector.
Okay, thanks, Amanda. Are there any questions or comments from directors on either of these 2 projects from Western New York region? Is there any comments from the public on this? Is there a motion to approve?
Move.
Thank you. Is there a second? Thanks. That's all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, thanks, Amanda. Mike Reese is up. He has 2 items from the Mohawk Valley. Mike?
Good morning, Howard. The directors are being asked to approve 2 grants of up to $600,000 from the Regional Council Capital Fund to Compassion Coalition to be used for a portion of the cost of land acquisition, construction, and furniture, fixtures, and equipment. The revised incentive proposal was accepted in November 2018. The coalition started in 2000 to meet the needs of less fortunate in the Utica area, providing vital services of food distribution, a bargain grocer located in an area of Utica deemed a food desert by the U.S. Department of Agriculture, and a teacher-free outlet to disperse classroom supplies for free. Compassion Coalition provides over $19 million in donated goods each year to the community, and they serve more than 448,000 individuals annually. Compassion Coalition works closely with our Working Solutions Second Chance program, as well as the Mohawk Valley Resource Center for Refugees, to promote job opportunities to individuals with a criminal record and refugees relocating to the city of Utica. Project began in 2015 when Compassion Coalition wanted to expand its existing food distribution services. However, this building was in the footprint of the new downtown Utica Hospital project. This resulted in a change of project scope that included the construction of a 12,000 square foot facility for the food distribution program and to house the bargain grocer. In 2018, due to the increased project costs, ESD offered an additional $440,000 grant to the existing $160,000 CFA award for a total grant award of $600,000. Total project cost is $3,610,038. The project was completed in December 2018, and the project is consistent with the Mohawk Valley REDC's opportunity agenda. My second project this morning is we're going to ask the directors to approve a grant of up to $1 million from the Regional Council Capital Fund to the Doyle Hardware LLC to be used for a portion of the construction and renovations of their facility. This Round 6 CFA incentive was accepted in April of 2017. The Doyle Hardware Building LLC was formed in 2014 and in 2016 purchased the iconic Doyle Hardware Building located at 330 Main Street in Utica in the historic Bag Square neighborhood. The developer has completed a renovation and redevelopment of the building into a mixed-use property, including ground floor commercial space and space for a new restaurant, as well as 55 market-rate apartments on the upper 3 floors. Total project cost is $14,871,344. The project was completed last September 2018, and the project is consistent with the REDC's strategy for downtown revitalization through the reuse of historic assets within the region. I'd be glad to answer any questions.
Okay, thanks, Mike. Two projects. Any questions or comments from directors on either of these 2 Mohawk Valley projects? Any comments from the public with regard to either of these items? Is there a motion to approve both items?
Second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, thanks, Mike. Next up, Vinny Esposito with one item from the Finger Lakes. Vinny?
Good morning, Howard. Good morning, directors. Today you're being asked to approve a capital grant of $1,256,050 from the Upstate Revitalization Initiative for Kodak Alaris for the renovation of a new facility at the Rochester Tech Park, a 250,000 square foot consolidated headquarters. Kodak Alaris is a company that was spun out of Eastman Kodak Company when they emerged from bankruptcy in 2013 to handle their information management and manufacturing of their retail printing kiosks. In 2017, the company was looking to relocate its headquarters and considered options in Massachusetts, California, and Colorado before deciding to relocate. It was still staying within Rochester at the Rochester Tech Park. Thanks to ESD's assistance, the company moved successfully, completed the job and the project in December of 2018, where they've remained committed to keeping 500 jobs in Monroe County and now have a headcount of 531. Be happy to take any questions.
Any questions or comments from directors for Vinny on this item? Any comments from the public on this? Is there a motion to approve?
Move.
Second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, thanks, Vinny. Mike Yeverly will present the Liberty Park Mixed-Use Development Project. Mike?
Good morning, Howard. The directors are requested to approve a $10,193,720 grant to Capitalize Albany Corporation in support of the Liberty Park Mixed-Use Development Capital and Working Capital Mixed-Use Redevelopment. ESD has offered a total of $15 million in grant funding of which the $10,139,720 in URI funding is being requested at this time. This phase of the project includes property acquisition, emergency demolition, design, planning, and administrative costs. The balance of the grant award will be presented to the directors for approval at a later time when site development has progressed. Capitalize Albany Corporation is a 501c3 not-for-profit development corporation public authority that serves the City of Albany's economic development function. Liberty Park is an 8-acre site made up of 50 properties that are owned and leased by the Albany Convention Center Authority. I'll refer to them here on out as the Authority, which in 2009 began acquiring and leasing parcels of land for the purpose of constructing a convention center. In 2013, the site was abandoned as a location when the authority revised its plans and changed location, ultimately constructing a new convention center off Eagle Street. The $78 million Capitol Center opened in the spring of 2018 and has helped transform Upper State Street and the area around Capitol Hill. Subsequent efforts to divest this surplus property, including an RFP supported by ESD and OGS, were unsuccessful due to a number of factors, including site control issues, the costs associated with lease buyouts, the lack of incentives to address significant public infrastructure needs. In 2017, ESD engaged with the authority to consider a redevelopment scenario where some other qualified development entity with access to incentives and the authority to raise capital would gain control of the properties for the purpose of being a master developer. To facilitate this process, ESD commissioned a feasibility study which was completed in the fall of 2017. The study assessed the redevelopment potential of the site and surrounding area. Two similar concepts were devised, identifying large-scale mixed-use development primarily focused on residential and entertainment uses, with approximately $130 or more million in full build-out potentials for both concepts. The reason for ESD's direct involvement and ultimately that of Capitalize Albany is due to the fact that the Convention Center Authority doesn't have the legislative authority to continue with the site's redevelopment, as they are statutorily limited to construction and operation of convention facilities within downtown Albany, and this type of project would exceed that authority. Capitalize Albany was approached by the authority to act as master developer and implementer of the concepts in the ESD feasibility study. Liberty Park represents a unique opportunity to transform highly underutilized land and buildings into a center of residential and commercial vibrancy in a historic neighborhood in downtown Albany, and without ESD's assistance, this project will not proceed. The project aligns with the Capital Region's metro strategy as well as its downtown revitalization strategy. It was a project identified specifically in our URI plan. The site contains one of Albany's oldest building, 48 Hudson, Albany's oldest public park, Liberty Park. It's all within the footprint of the original Fort Orange development that founded Albany, so highly sensitive archaeological area. It also contains major infrastructure and some of Albany's oldest infrastructure, including the cooling intake for Empire State Plaza and a lot of infrastructure that supports the Empire State Plaza redevelopment. That's it.
Okay, thanks, Mike. Appreciate it. Any comments or questions from directors on this significant downtown Albany project? Any comments from the public on this item? Is there a motion to approve?
Move.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, thanks, Mike. We're excited about that.
Thank you, Howard.
Kelly Baccarizo will now present the Market New York program item. Kelly.
Good morning, Howard, and good morning to the board. Market New York has one working capital project awarded in round 8 of the RADC awards for the board's approval this month. A grant of $300,000 was awarded to the Fort Ticonderoga Association located in the North Country region of New York State. This marketing grant will be used to help fund the development and implementation of a marketing plan to showcase Fort Ticonderoga as a cultural and historical landmark with both world-class collections and exhibits that will bring tourists from all over the region. And if anybody has any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Okay, are there any questions or comments from directors to Kelly on the Market New York program? Any comments from the public on this item? Is there a motion to approve?
Move.
Thank you. Second. Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thanks, Kelly. We have two New York State Innovation Venture Capital items presented by Momo B and Clayton Bash. Momo?
Good morning, Howard. Good morning, everyone. We're asking the directors to approve up to $750,000 in Series C2 financing investment into our existing portfolio company, Lollyware. Lollyware is a woman-led company based in Beacon, New York, designs and manufactures straws and tablewares to replace traditional plastics with hyper-composable and environmentally friendly material. To date, Lollyware has received $367,333 from New York Ventures as part of a $917,000 convertible debt financing with $6 million valuation cap. Each year, 33 billion plastic cups and 6 billion plastic straws enter landfills and waterways globally. Local municipalities have begun to enacting composting mandates and bans on plastic disposable to address the problem, but the global plastic crisis requires new solutions above and beyond the legislation. The company is currently focusing on developing and scaling up edible bioplastic straws made from seaweed to address the immediate plastic straw pollution problem. In order to fund its activities over the next 18 to 24 months, Lollyware is raising up to $4 million in Series C2 preferred equity based on a fully diluted pre-money valuation of $19 million. New York Ventures will invest up to $750,000 into this investment round, with the balance being provided by private sector investors led by HL, a New York-based venture capital firm that has been investing in high-growth companies with a social impact since 2009. We're receiving the same terms as the private investors. As part of the due diligence process, New York Ventures and an external investment review committee evaluated the company's business plan and growth prospects as well as the terms of the investment. As a result of this analysis, New York Ventures and the IRC both agreed that the market opportunity and the growth potential offered by this New York State company warrants an investment by the fund and recommend its approval. Happy to answer any questions.
Well, when did we make our first investment in it? About, how long we've been invested in this project for?
So we have made our first investment. I have to look up the date.
A couple years ago.
A couple years ago. Oh, it was in Q1 2018.
Okay.
2000 what?
2018.
First quarter.
Okay, first. Has it appreciated in value? I mean, is the state's, if the state's investment has done well so far in terms of the way the company's doing?
Yes, so when we invested in Q1 2018, the valuation was $6 million, and now the valuation is $19 million.
Okay. All right, thanks. Any questions or comments from directors?
Just out of curiosity, they just make straws?
Straws is the first step, and then they will continue to make replacements for plastic cups, plastic plates.
From seaweed?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a small little business located in downtown Beacon, a storefront.
Oh, you know it?
Yeah, it's a
Small place.
couple of people said, but why can't we do this? They got a couple of chemistry professors out of New Paltz, and they said, look, why can't we do this?
It's a good idea.
How
We'll
long?
see if it works out.
How long have they been in business?
I believe they have been in business since 2016.
Yeah,
but
they
the
just-
first couple of years is just developing the material to make sure the science works.
Yeah.
Other questions from directors for Momo on this? Okay. Clayton, do you have an item? Then we'll take both of the items, I think, as a resolution.
Okay, thank you, Howard. New York Ventures would like to ask the board for authorization for the New York State Innovation Venture Capital Fund to invest up to $500,000 in Soma Detect and their current convertible note, raising $2.5 million. Soma Detect is a Buffalo, New York startup, which, after winning the 2017 43 North competition, moved its headquarters from Canada to Buffalo. The company, using AI identification of photonics data, provides livestock analysis for dairy farmers. Soma Detect measures indicators such as somatic cells that warns of mastitis, the fat and protein content of the milk, as well as the health
of the cows in real time rather than waiting for the monthly samples to be taken, evaluated, and reported back to the farmer. Bethany Despande, the CEO and co-founder, has already installed 250 SomaDetect sensors covering 5,000 cows in North New York State and in Michigan. They collected data as being correlated by the Cornell University's Department of Animal Science to confirm the effectiveness of the algorithm. The company is manufacturing its sensors at Sermotech in Victor, New York, which we visited during our due diligence. Lastly, we wanted to note that the Dairy Farmers of America and the professional VC firm of IGAN and Build VC, along with a number of other ag-related investors, are co-investing along with the New York Innovation Venture Capital Fund with the same valuation and the same documentation. Are there any questions?
Any questions or comments from directors on the SomaDetect?
What are the terms of the notes? In terms
It's a
of
convertible note, so that when the next price round occurs, we will get a 10% discount to that round.
in terms of the duration of the note, the interest rate.
The note is
payable?
2 years long, but the company expects to do a price round within 8 to 10 months.
And what's the interest rate on the notes?
The interest rate on the notes is 8%.
And these are callable notes?
They're convertible notes, and so they would be callable after 2 years.
Any other questions from directors on any of these items? Any comments from the public on either of these two items? Is there a motion to approve both of these Innovation New York investments?
I so move.
Thank you.
And
Is
I
there a
so second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, thank you, folks. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yep. Steve Golick will now provide a summary of our administrative action. Steve?
Thank you, Howard. We're asking the board to approve an amended contract with Albertine Courier. They're a construction consulting firm that ESD retained about a year ago. They are helping us oversee a grant that was made to Fort Schuyler, well, a number of grants are made to Fort Schuyler to the tune of $125 million for the North Titanium project in Plattsburgh. Fort Schuyler is working on constructing a new building to house North's business, which they use 3D printing to make titanium aircraft parts. We hired Albertine to help us oversee that project and manage our grant. So they're out there in the field looking at construction issues, budgeting, schedule, and things like that, and they report to ESD. The only reason we need approval is because our procurement guidelines require contracts over a year to be approved by the board. And since this contract's going to extend beyond a year, we're asking the board to approve it. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Steve. Questions or comments from directors on this item for Steve Golick? Any comments from the public on this item? Is there a motion to approve?
Move.
Thank you. Is there a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I don't actually think we have any other items. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Move.
Okay.
Seconded.
Thank you. That was
Quick. Painless?
excellent. Excellent.